Today, I'm talking with the co-founders of Sirio Art Games. The co-founders are Luigi and Andrea, and today we're going to be talking about their game, Occulto. You want to start by telling me about your game?
Yes. Occulto is a point-and-click adventure game set in a fantasy world, and it's the story. The game tells the story of Elliot, which is a young apprentice of magic, which is going to go to magical lesson to the house of his master, but he discovers that he doesn't find his master. His master is mysteriously disappear. So he has to look for his master and going through a lot of troubles and mystery. The game, as I said, is an adventure game, so it's based on puzzle, riddles and puzzles, and you have to. It's not a platform, so you have to discover. I don't know if you have ever played an adventure game, a point-and-click game. Yes, and
I would add that
yes,
the peculiarity of our game is that non-verbal. So, like those games
yes,
from Amanita Design, we are focused on the artistic part, but also non-verbal telling of the story. So it's
yes,
let's say that kind of adventure game. So without text. And
yes.
we need to read.
The story is you discover the story by balloons and a lot of animations. So we totally avoid verbal gameplay. And yes, the game is it's totally handmade and hand drawn. So every and the animation also are totally handmade. What can I say? The total scene of the game are 37. So the game is quite long, even if it's our first game.
I saw that you had a pretty successful Kickstarter. What
Yes.
was your experience like launching that campaign?
Okay, I'll try to answer. So the experience was nice, also a little bit stressing, let's say. The fact we didn't know is that there is an email address to reach out to Kickstarter game team in order to have your game evaluated. This means that we didn't know, so they didn't add us as a project in the project below section. And this means that the Kickstarter algorithm is terrible. It's basically random. Okay, so it means that you have no visibility or very, very, very few visibility. In fact, we reached, we managed to get 210 supporters, while we estimated to have like 300, 350 supporters. So the campaign was almost failing. A very interesting part, and the part that we loved a lot, is that the people participating in the campaign added more money in order to make the campaign successful. So we saw many people, not just one, like tens of people increasing their pledge so that the game would not fail. And
Wow.
also, yeah, go on.
That's very cool. I can see why people would support your game so much because there are some very unique aspects about it. Not only is does the art stand out very much, the whole nonverbal aspect that it's all done through gestures and animations is very unique.
Indeed, and this is the great work of Luigi.
How did you come up with this design? And who did you collaborate on the design aspect?
I was inspired the most by Machinarium, by Amanita Design. I studied a lot their graphics and images, and I try to add something from my imagination, and then we set the game in the Middle Age. So but I need to study. I have studied a lot of years because I come from the classical painting. I used to paint and draw by using pencil, oil, canvas. So I was really new on digital painting. And so I studied a lot, especially Machinarium, the game from Amanita Design, which I think is one of the best for the graphics and the aesthetics.
Is this the first game for both of you?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I can add a little bit of information, meaning that I tried in my past to make an adventure game. So I loved the Machinarium and I wanted to make an adventure game, but I failed twice, meaning that we made some tests or very little games, but we didn't manage to go on. Only with Luigi I managed to persist and go on with, let's say, now we have after the game developed, okay, so with animation and everything, we are assembling it. Luigi has also drawn a lot of other scenes, and this is let's say, my very first game and the first successful attempt.
Andrea, what is your background like in programming? Have you been doing that for a while?
Yeah, I always been a programmer. I mean, I learned how to program by myself when I was a teenager. Okay, then I went on with computer engineering, and I always worked as a programming companies. So I changed like 7 companies, and I'm still a programmer. I program as a living.
What kind of technology are you using for the game? Are you using an engine?
Yes, we are using Unity. Actually, I started, but it was more a test with it's called, I think, Phaser. It's like Pixie.js, okay? I think the framework was Phaser, okay? Not exactly Pixie, because it had some more stuff for gaming. But the problem is with this kind of technology is that they are not very performant, especially from a mobile point of view. Okay, so Unity is more professional, and also it's let's say, you don't have to. I mean, if there is a problem on the rendering engine, everything is solved by them, because a lot of games would stop working. Why the WebGL technology was, I don't know now maybe it's more mature, but some years ago, the WebGL technology was a little bit too new. So Chrome had some issues, and this means that our game in our web view had some issues. So I switched to Unity, which is more professional. Now I'm curious about Godot, the engine, but still haven't tried it.
How did you two end up working together and meeting each other?
Okay, so Luigi, tell us about that SM text message you sent me many years ago.
Yes, because I knew Andrea since I was very young because we have a lot of friends in common, and we are both from Arezzo, which is a small city. So
Yeah, Florence. Yeah.
yes, but after when we were already at around 30 years old, I was 30. You were a bit older. I texted to Andrea asking about how to make an app because I wanted to make an app because I had some strange ideas in mind. And Andrea haven't my number, so he replied me like, "Who you
Who are
are?
you?
I don't know you." And then we met. We clicked. We were very. Come si dice?
Yeah, we clicked. I mean, we
We
start speaking about the game, and he was enthusiastic from the
yes, I
beginning.
was. Yes, I was enthusiastic about doing this game. Yes, so we started in 2018 to make this game. So um, it's yes, 7 years, 6 years. We are doing this game a lot of time, but it's very difficult. It's not easy to understand how much the is difficult to make a game like this. It's very difficult. Yes, because I learned everything by scratch in digital painting. So I need to watch a lot of videos on YouTube. I learned everything by myself. So it was a long road, a long trip.
Can you talk about some of the puzzles and the riddles and how you come up with those and how you implement them?
Yes, for example, the first riddle, which is on the demo, is a kind of porting of that riddle where you have to join points in a sheet of paper, okay, without how to say, touching ever the foil, the paper, okay. So we ported it to a digital variation, which result in something a little bit different and more interesting than the original puzzle. So this was the, let's say, first puzzle we added. Also, I knew some, let's say, typical puzzle, which are also used in other games, but they come from the physics world, where you have also in the demo, the last puzzle is, let's say, a known one for those who like puzzles. So where you have to switch 3 items from one position to the other position. Also, I would add that there is a nice puzzle which was suggested to me from another mathematician. I said another because Lisa is a math teacher, okay, but another friend of mine who is a mathematician told me about the 4-color theorem. Okay, so there is a theorem that says that you can color any map with 4 colors without the same color overlapping. So no overlapping, it's demonstrated that you need at most 4 colors. And this means that you can find on it some examples which are nice puzzles where you actually have to color some shapes, okay, without the same color overlapping. This is one of the last puzzle we implemented. I mean, some weeks ago.
Was there a music puzzle somewhere? I saw looked like a musical keyboard in there.
Yes. There is also a musical riddle. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you too, Luigi, you played piano.
Yes,
Not
we both play piano since we were young. Um,
And yeah, the music riddle, it's nice, even though we are still to finish it, meaning that that the riddle is complete. I mean that we haven't received the notes for the music riddle. the note sound. I mean, because recently we switched the person helping us with the music, because the last one, he was very, very good. Antonio Nardi is also quoted on the game, but is not helping us anymore. I mean, that it has no time. So I asked help to another friend of mine, which is very good on this kind of music. And I'm still waiting for the sound of Celesta, for the notes, for the keynotes of the sound of Celesta to complete the music riddle.
Now, when you ask to somebody to help in something, to help us in doing something on our game, usually people think that they can do everything very quickly, but then everything
Quite the opposite.
is the opposite. Yes, everything in this game need a lot of time, even if it's a sound, sounds or music or everything. You know, it's very long. It's very difficult.
You know, the most difficult part, in my opinion, is that since we work, okay, so we have regularly a daily job, okay, and everyone we contact is the same, okay, because this is our first game, so we don't have money to just work on the game. It's not so easy to work on your spare time, meaning that if someone has time, okay, it's a little bit easier, you can learn a lot, but learning and programming or drawing during your spare time, it's I would say a skill. It's not just that you are ready to work on your spare time. You need to learn how to enjoy the process.
You mentioned working with musician. Are there any other people that you've collaborated with for other assets in the game?
Yes, recently during the crowdfunding period, I convinced, let's say, 2 colleagues, especially one who is helping a lot with the programming. So the game is going much faster than before, because before it was only me. But for example, during the crowdfunding period, me and Luigi were completely absorbed by the campaign. Okay, so we didn't have time to go on the game, but the game went on because those 2 friends and colleagues of mine are developing the level, the game. And it's also, let's say, not too difficult to work together, because since this kind of game is about scenes, so it's a scene after scene, they can work in one scene, I can work in another scene, and we don't have problem sharing the work.
With your Kickstarter campaign, I saw a post that you used some of that money to buy an upgraded Wacom graphics tablet. I thought it was very cool to see where the money is really actually helping out. Is there anything else specific that you had planned to do with some of that money?
Yes.
Yes. For example, the Wacom was the most useful part, because Luigi we had some problem with the iPad, meaning that the new Photoshop is much heavier. Okay, so the painting process more, it has some lag. Okay, so the Wacom was very useful, but also we have some expenses from we have we created the like LTD. So in Italy the LTD is SRLS, means simplified company. Okay. And there are some expenses. So this means that with the crowdfunding, we can use some of the money from the crowdfunding. Otherwise, we have to pay for that. About the hardware, we are still using our hardware. So let's say my laptop is not for me. I don't know if in the near future we need something better for Luigi. A better computer. He's using a Mac, but is getting a little bit old. Not yet, but
I bought this computer very very powerful because I need a powerful computer for the animation, because After Effects, which is the program which I use for the animations, requires a lot of power, a lot of memory. Andrea is better in this kind of details. But
Yes,
the old computer stuck no was didn't
unusable.
work.
Yeah.
Have you had many people play the game? Do you have playtesters who are giving you feedback on how the game plays?
Okay, so not yet, meaning I will give a full answer. About testers, we are going to plan to have testers, of course, but we need to assemble each level without bugs, because there are known bugs which I'm solving, of course. So we want to assemble like, I don't know, 15, but even at the moment, I'm thinking to assemble all the like 22 scenes, which will be our first release, meaning early access on Steam. Okay, 22 scenes. Okay, and we want to have people testing it earlier. Also, Kickstarter helped in that, because we have like 10 people, 10, 15 people who pledged to be also testers. Or I hope like most of them, at least 10 people can help us testing the game. Of course, we have a lot of friends who can test the game. So this is the plan. So this is about testing. Could you repeat the answer? Sorry, the question, because there was another part which was interesting.
Just about whether you were getting feedback from playtesters.
Okay, so
We
from
already
the
have.
tester, not yet. From our friends, yes, of course. And about the downloads, we have since we have the game, the demo, okay, the demo on the Play Store, okay, Steam and iOS. Let's say on the Play Store, we are like 30 downloads per day. Okay, the total amount of downloads since many years ago, it's like, don't know, 1,000 and something, all the platform. So meaning Steam plus Android plus iOS. I mean, we released the demo some years ago, so in the time we joined a few people. It's kind of, the demo is not so unknown, let's say. Anyway, in Android, almost 30 downloads per day.
How are you approaching the marketing? And is one of you taking more lead on that?
That's a hard question, because
Yes.
I think we don't know. But Luigi, and then you can speak, Luigi is following more than me all the socials.
Yes, I of course joined X, Twitter, ex Twitter, and
Instagram.
Discord, YouTube, and Instagram. There are a lot of social, and we should be in and also to grow the followers, the followers on X, on Instagram. It's a lot of work as well. So it's not easy. It's not easy. And
Yes, I would say that at the moment we are focusing on the developing. Their plans are to start participating in, like Steam Next Fest, those festival or competition for games. Okay, so in order to be more visible, we wanted to have the game almost ready, the first release of the game almost ready to participate on Steam Next Fest, for example. Okay, so we want to make some marketing with this kind of challenges.
yes.
And then we know that when the, let's say, first release is ready, we know to study another skill to learn how to reach the people that can be interested on our game. Kickstarter was, let's say, the first test in this kind of in marketing, because Kickstarter is about crowdfunding, but also is about reaching your community.
Involving people, yes.
Have you considered working with a publisher? Is that something you're looking to do?
At the moment, no. Maybe it could be interesting. Let's say since we are really in indie, so first game and so on, we don't know. We could work with publishers, but at the moment, each contact we received was more or less a fake. So we still need to either look for a publisher or find a good publisher. All the others that reached us are fake. Okay, from spam to non-interesting.
This game's already taken many years. Do you have any plans to make another game, or are you just focused only on this game for now?
For now, we are focused on this game.
Yes, well,
we
can
could probably make it quicker and smaller, but we try to make the game very perfect, and so we are focusing very strongly on this game. And then, yes, if the game is going to be successful, we are going to release another game.
Yes, definitely. Let's say we can speak a bit about some deadlines. Not deadlines, but some dates we have in mind. Meaning that since this new program reached us and Luigi has already developed everything up to the 20-second scene. Okay, so every animation, we are confident that at the end of this year, so like November, December, we will be able to release on early access the let's say the first 2 chapters of the game. Not 2 chapters, so I mean it's 22 scenes out of 37. And then after that, we will try to release once in a month, something like that. But I want to point out that we have everything we need for 22 scenes. It's not like a typical indie estimation that say at the end of the year we are going to release the game and then 4 years passes. So we have everything ready, so we are confident that in some months we are able to release an interesting portion of the game, which is like 60% of the game.
Question for both of you. Is there anything you wish you knew before you started?
A lot, actually.
Yes.
So I for example, I would start, we tried, but it's not so easy. For example, I would start with more than a demo, I would start with a very small game. Free, yes. Probably free, okay, to let people know your work and see if people are interested. And while you see the reaction to the people, you try some marketing, participate in events, you develop the real game. Also, 37 scenes, it's a lot, okay, we have already written out the story, so it will be 37 scenes. But I think a little bit smaller game, like 30 levels instead of 37, would have been better. Other things to know is how to successfully do a Kickstarter campaign. There are some small things that can make the campaign much better. And also, I think, in my opinion, the most of the time, or most of the initial time you spend, so actually like 1-2 years, is about improving or learning let's say not the technical skills, all you need to do for a game. It's not just about programming and drawing or digital painting. It's about how you release on Android, how you release on Steam, how you make your community, how you involve other people. It's a kind of management, and not just about programming. It's a company, so it's like bringing on your company with the right people.
Yes.
Luigi, how about you? Anything you wanted to mention about what you wish you knew before you started?
What I would like to do different. I when I started doing digital painting, I used a Wacom Intuos, which is the most basic tablet for drawings. It cost €70, more or less. And you, in this little screen, in this little tablet, you have not the screen, the display. So you have to draw in this tablet, but you look in the monitor of the computer. So it's very difficult to coordinate everything. The touch of the pen with the graphic. So I would definitely buy a better tablet with a display, with a screen incorporated in order to learn more faster. Then yes, I would like Andrea said before. I would I think it would be better to start with a little game,
Smaller game, yeah.
yes, a smaller game, because our game is it's a huge game. 37 scenes are a lot, so it was better to start with a smaller game of about 20-30 scenes. And for me, it was really difficult to learn how to use Photoshop and After Effects, which are really a big and difficult program. Also, because when you watch a tutorial on YouTube, the tutorial is very useful. Maybe it can use old version of the program. You usually you don't find the exact symbols. Yes, so you have always to try and fail and try, and after a lot of trying and failing, after a lot of years, you find your way, you find your style, but it's very difficult. Maybe I could call a teacher, a digital painter, professional digital painter, to ask him some questions.
Well, where should people go to learn more and follow your game?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Where should they go to follow and learn more about the game?
Okay, of course, on the social. So if they follow us on X or Instagram, it's a good place. We are also planning to release some small videos on YouTube. Okay,
You can go on Steam and wishlist.
Yes, of course, a wishlist. But
Yes.
if they want to follow the community, it's more about if you want to know, of course, if they want to play the demo, of course, on Steam. If they want to follow us on socials, and as we're saying, we would like to release some small videos about developing the game, but the problem is that the video takes a lot of time and we need to focus on the game. But still, we want to, I don't know, one video a month, something like that. Also, I don't know if when you start making some videos of, I don't know, 3-4 minutes, you become better and it becomes faster. I don't know. I tried to make a video, but the result was horrible, so I didn't publish it because it's, the first videos are very, very difficult. And other places, I don't know, we have a website, but it's just, it speak about the game, it's more about where to follow us. And we have, of course, Discord, which it's a good place to reach us.
Excellent. I will post those links on the YouTube video, and I'll post a link to your Steam page and your X accounts when I upload the video there. Thank you both for your time. I really appreciate it. And I know it's late over there. So thank you for your time. And I wish you really the best luck with this game.
Thank you. Thank you too.
Thank you too.